All right, so here's part 3 of making our box with our oak leaf and our embossed top. And so I'm in the Dremel Digi Slicer. We've got our material selected as PLA, and we're going to go with low quality or 0.3 millimeter. And if I take a look at the quality is just basically saying the same information with our layer height, our shell, and what we want to make sure is that our horizontal expansion is set for 0 so that we're not scaling this at all. And then what we'll do, and those are just the two important things. I'm not going to generate support for this. I don't think we'll need it. Build plate adhesion, I would probably set it up as, let's use it for none. I think we'll be fine with that. It's not a huge part. We'll go ahead and we'll open our base. And you'll notice that since we made this in inches, it's microscopic. And so what we want to do is we want to click on it and scale it. 2500 is our scale factor. And then what we want to do is we want to rotate that into an orientation like that so that we don't have to have support. If we were to print this upside down, we'd have it full of support. And then we'll move this so we have room for the top. We'll open the top, which we embossed, and for some reason we didn't have to scale it, and I'm not sure if that's something that 3D Builder does automatically, but it appears to be just fine. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this over just slightly, and I have to take this back. I am going to have to put in support because I'm going to need to support underneath this. Otherwise I would have to flip this upside down, and maybe I will flip this upside down because I'll have less support. So let's rotate that 90 degrees, and then we can generate support, and then we can prepare this, and we'll probably just get a little fine layer of support where the text is. And then if we look at this with our layers, looks like it's going to want to generate some support for the oak leaf, which is fine. It's not going to be, and then a little bit there on the bottom since it's raised up for the engraving. Now, when we prepare it, what we can see is how much time it will take. And so this will take 5 hours, and we can flip it over the other way and see if we can save any support time, because I think it'll be a little bit cleaner this way. We'll prepare it. And so we're at 6 hours and 5 minutes on this way. And I forgot to check what it was on the other one. Let's flip it back and check again. Five hours and 44 minutes. So it's going to take an extra 20 minutes of support material if we have it the other way. And I think it's worth it. I'm going to go ahead and flip it over, prepare it, and then I'm going to save this to the removable drive so that we can print it. I usually will edit the text here. I like to put my initials on it. And I will save that to a USB as JC small box 3x3 base, and I could say base dash top. All right, and then before I eject it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it up so that I can use an insert. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete these two parts. And then I'm going to open the Oakleaf. It's going to be, again, really small. And so I can click on it, and I can scale it the exact same amount, 2500. And now I have my Oakleaf. And what I want to do is to get rid of the generate support. And we're going to print everything pretty much the same. We'll use 0.3 millimeter low quality PLA, and this will print really quite quickly, probably 20 minutes, 8 minutes. Now we want these oak leaves to fit into the geometry for the box that we created. And so what we're going to do is we're going to use something called horizontal expansion in the shell area. And so we're going to set that as minus 0.2. And that way that'll scale it just enough so that those oak leaves will pop into those relief areas that we subtracted using AutoCAD. And then we'll prepare that. All right, and that should do it. So we've got it pretty well set up. It'll print the leaves in 8 minutes, and what I'll do is I'll typically use a different color printer, and oftentimes I'll print up 3 or 4 of these depending on how many of these I'm making for the students. And so we'll go ahead and change the name on this. And we'll say 4-box. And we'll save this to our removable drive. And we'll print this in a different color, and we should be able to assemble that so that we get something kind of similar to this, but with a different color here that we can insert. All right, that ends this video, and I'm going to post it into our D2L system.